Hey everyone, welcome to Small Talk Sundays, where I just do some small talk on Sundays and upload the video at a very inopportune time on Monday. So, last week was pretty busy for me. I had a bunch of family gatherings going on during the Thanksgiving celebration, and by the way, hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. But yeah, I wasn't able to do a whole lot in general regarding YouTube or Final Fantasy 14 at all because, you know, just a bunch of family stuff happening. So that was pretty much my entire week last week, just being really occupied with the festivities of the week. So yeah, the next step on the way that I'm wanting to do is to get finally freaking get to the freaking MSQ, because I've been talking and complaining about not getting to it for literally 2 months. I'm pretty sure everyone's tired of me saying it at this point. But yeah, the next thing I'm gonna be doing, and I'm pretty sure I've said this like 5 different times, probably. I keep forgetting whatever I say almost immediately after I record these things. It's not really a great trait to have, but yeah. Next step, I think I'm going to be tackling the MSQ and going to be uploading MSQ related stuff, and I think I've decided on the first go of that, where I just do like an edited playthrough of that. I'm going to do a little recap almost of how I feel about things relating to Shadowbringers. I'll try not to say a whole lot of Stormblood spoiler. Honestly, now that I think about it, I think it's going to be almost impossible for me to like do a recap without spoiling anything. But yeah, I'm gonna do a spoiler warning for that, and I'll put basically what I wanted my unscripted thoughts things to be. I'm just gonna cram a very brief up-to-date thing at the start of the first video for the Shadowbringers playthrough thing, so that way you all get up to date, because that was my main concern. That was my main concern that kept me back from like uploading any sorts of like Shadowbringer stuff or even going forward with it, because the way my YouTube's chronological order is, it's basically saying, oh hey, you're still in A Realm Reborn. And my thoughts on all of the Scions are different from what I initially stated in A Realm Reborn, because what I was doing there is I was trying to go back in time mentally to try to remember what I felt like during that moment in time about each of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And I was just sitting there just meditating, going back in time, and just kind of emulating my impressions and what I was going through during that moment in time. Now, my current thoughts for each of the Scions is pretty different. Yeah, I'll get into that later. I was gonna start going into details, but I'll get into that in later time. But so yeah, that's my plan. That's my plan. I'm gonna do some edited playthroughs, and I don't know how I feel about it, because I went back and listened to the current footage I have, which is, by the way, to everyone right now, I am currently in this moment in time just past the first dungeon in Shadowbringers. I'm pretty sure I said this before too, but I have the memory of a goldfish. But that is where I am right now, and I have recorded my entire everything relating to Shadowbringers so far. But I went back to the footage and I reviewed what I was doing and what I sounded like with some of the stuff and how I went through a few things, and my lord, I hate it. I hate it so much, because I do this thing. I've always done this thing, but I do this thing when I read dialogue from be it either a book, a story, or dialogue in a video game. I say it mentally in my head. I read it in like the person's voice and all that stuff, and almost dramatically if it's like a narrator or something. But when I try to read the dialogues out loud for each of the characters, I try to like almost emulate their voice and try to pitch and shape my voice, and not just that, but my accent and everything. Accents that I don't know how to do, and it's just like, oh no, what are you doing, man? Stop it. So I'm gonna not do that, and the fact that I do that through most of Shadowbringers, where I'm just like talking in the voices and all that stuff. I hate listening to it personally, probably because it's my own voice, but I hate listening to it. It's freaking annoying, and I'm really hesitant to put that out there as in a video, because it's kind of rough. I don't know how I feel about it now that I think about it. There are moments already in Shadowbringers where it's like, I'm pretty sure you all would really like to see my reactions to some things, but the fact that I do this stupid voice, I've been rambling on that for like a solid 3 minutes now. I think I'm gonna stop with that, but essentially, I'm feeling really self-conscious with my take on reading things. So that's going to be a thing going forward in the future. I do intend to do an overall unscripted thoughts about every single expansion because there's a lot to talk about. But with the next unscripted thoughts, I am going to look through the Unending Journey journal before recording the thing so I can get a refresher going. Because what I did with the Realm Reborn one was I sat there without even consulting the completed quest log or the Unending Journey journal cutscene thing, and I was just pulling everything from memory as I could as I was like going along through it. So I missed a whole lot of details that I didn't realize I missed until after I went through the journey journal to get the footage. I was like, wow, I missed so many things. So yeah, the Heaven's Word one is probably going to be an hour, but I was thinking of maybe just doing a multiple parter for Heaven's Word. Because, well, now that I did experiment with stuff with A Realm Reborn, it took me for frickin' ever to do just even 20 minutes of a video, a 20-minute video. So I was thinking maybe I could just do a multiple parter for Heaven's Word, like cut it up a bit, instead of just cramming all of Heaven's Word in its entirety, post patches and all. I think I might just do a multiple parter because I think it'll also be easier on me personally to regurgitate or recount all of that. Because there's a lot that happens. Heaven's Word, I feel like, feels the most crammed plot-wise. Like, it crams a lot of things in there. A Realm Reborn, now that I look back on it, it did introduce a lot of stuff, but that's mostly all it really did. It introduced a lot of things, but it only followed its main little story. Heaven's Word, if I recall correctly, because my memory's still fuzzy on things, it tried to go all in with all sorts of different things. Like, it tried to flesh out a good chunk of those introductions. Not all of them. But I did try to flesh out more things, and it felt like a lot of things were going on, specifically like in the later parts of the expansion. So I'm gonna, yeah, that might be a multiple parter instead of just doing one giant, like probably an hour-long video. Oh my lord. I think I'm gonna keep it at least like a maximum of 20 minutes because I think that's a reasonable long video people could be willing to sit down through, like 20 minutes. Like, in terms of the longer end of the spectrum, I think 20 minutes is reasonable, because an hour is an hour, man. That's like 1/24th of a day. And maybe even shorter if you account for the amount of time people are awake, which is like, what, 17 hours, 18 hours? Like 16 to 18 hours is roughly how long people tend to stay awake for, so if it's an hour long, it's like 1/16th of a day. But you get what I mean. Yeah, so 20 minutes and maybe under 10 minutes. 10 minutes to 20 minutes seems like a reasonable amount of time for me, because if it's under 10 minutes, I feel like I wouldn't be saying a whole lot, because I'm noticing I tend to say a lot of things, and as I'm recording this, to me it feels like it's been 3 minutes of me talking, and it's like currently 11 minutes. So it's I don't like how time flows, man. It's flowing too fast. Either that or I just have a lot to say about a lot of things. But it legit it feels like it's been 3 minutes for me, but it's at the time of this recording right now, it's 11 minutes and 45 seconds. So, oh my gosh, I gotta get so many things done. Just had a bit of a moment where it just kind of hit me. It was like, gotta get things done. Time is flying. God. So with the unscripted thoughts thing, I think I did fairly well. For people are saying they like the jokes. I was actually thinking on omitting those little skits because I thought they would be detracting from the whole video. But after hearing so many people in the comments saying that they really like the skits, and apparently people really like my turn of phrase of cutting a thing. I'm not going to go into detail here because, spoilers, and this is not a video meant for spoilers. So I'm going to keep that out. But yeah, I was real happy to hear that, and a lot of people really recognize that first piece of music in the intro. I was not expecting that many people to know where that came from. But yeah, so this week I think I'm gonna finally freaking tackle the MSQ, but I should probably be reviewing a little bit more of the story that happened so far, because it's been 2 months. It's been 84 years. So things have been a little bit are a bit fuzzy for me, and where I left off is it was a good stopping point now I think about it, but where I left off was kind of a big moment. I think it was pretty sizable moment. It's like the first of, I'm going to assume, many moments, but I'll see what I can do with that. But I'm not, at the same token, I'm not sure how I want to approach these videos. Do I do it unedited, or do I just go all in edited? Because unedited me is... That's a dumb question. No, I'm doing this edited. I just had to think for a moment and just remember what I sound like. I was like, nope, there's a lot of stupid coming out of my mouth every here and there, and I'm just gonna edit a bunch of that fat out. I'm not sure how chunky I want these to be too. Like how much content, how much MSQ should I gloss over? Because every beat so far in Shadowbringers feels very freaking relevant to the story. Like in A Realm Reborn, yeah, I can cut out a lot. Heaven's Word, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you cut out. Stormblood, there's a lot I could cut out too. But Shadowbringers so far, I can think of maybe some already that I can cut out, probably. But overall, Shadowbringer seems to be sticking real relevant and close to the story, and I really freaking appreciate that, by the way. That's probably why Shadowbringers already feels like way more engaging than any of the expansions felt like right off the get-go. So yeah, Shadowbringers, it's off to a start, man. But yeah, I'm kind of rambling at this point because I pretty much said all I wanted to say. Video stuff. Unscripted thoughts. I don't... Just as for the next one that's going to be coming out, that's going to be held off for a good minute because right now I was running out of creative juice like later on in that video when I was editing it. I'm pretty sure you all can notice it because there's less and less skits that go as the video goes on. And after a while, I just wanted the video freaking done. So I just went straight to the point and just said what I wanted to say and just ended it there with minimal little creativity. Because man, I was just tapped out. Like around like the, what was it, the 11-minute mark, 12-minute mark. I was just like tapped out. I wanted out of there. So yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit and kind of let the creative juices kind of like pile up a little bit more because I'm a little exhausted. I'm a little artistically exhausted from all that, with the whole writer's block, because the writer's block was by far the reason why that video took so long. Writer's block is absolutely the reason why that video took so long. I was bashing my head so hard, like, can I make a joke here? Like, I want to make a joke with each of the scions, but I can't think of something with Y'shtola, and Papalimo hardly ever, Papalimo and Yida aren't really relevant most of the story. Same with Y'shtola. So I couldn't really come up with something. Urian J's was way later, but basically I was trying too hard. So yeah, I'm gonna hold off on another unscripted thoughts because I don't want the other ones to be really disappointing to go through, because I've already set the bar for myself with unscripted thoughts, and the hardest part is following through with the bar. So yeah, the next unscripted thoughts is probably going to be another while. It's not going to come out this year. I'm just going to flat out say it. If the first unscripted thoughts took 2 months to do it, there's only 1 month left in the year, so that's not going to happen. So yeah, which is another thing I keep saying. So yeah, I need to cut that out. But that's pretty much my thoughts so far and plans going forward and situation of things going on. So I think I'm gonna just end it there, and we'll see how that goes. So, thank you all very much for watching and/or listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful life. And don't click links. Take care, folks.